Andrea, what has impressed you the most from this 21-year-old?
I don't think he has any emotions, does he? It's so impressive to watch because you would think, as you mentioned, never won a match on clay. He's never beaten a top 20 player, and now he's just beaten 3 in a row, taking out Felix Auger-Aliassime. And just in the moments where you think somebody that doesn't have a lot of experience at 21 years old will maybe show a little bit of nerves, there were absolutely none. And paired with the serve and the forehand, I think he has the weapons. That's what we need in modern tennis, is weapons, nothing Prakash knows anything about.
You know,
I'll just let
I love having a second woman on the desk.
Here to talk about Blockx and Zverev. I'm catching strays
Can
over
we do
here.
this all the time, please?
I love you, Andrea. I love you. I got nothing bad to say about you.
But you've been saying that Alexander Blockx has a really good shot today against Sasha Zverev. Now, it's such an interesting narrative when you look at Zverev this season. He's 0-5 in semifinals, of course, 0-3 in Masters 1000 semifinals. He is not facing Jannik Sinner today. How big of a hurdle did he jump without even needing to in that regard?
Look, I think ever since Carlos pulled out especially, there's an overarching statement that Zverev needs to step into and make. With him gone, he's got to be making the finals of these events. He's got to be challenging for Roland Garros. He's run into a chainsaw in Jannik Sinner in these semifinals. But Sasha's been best of the rest on clay for quite some time now. He lost that 5-setter to Carlos Alcaraz in the final of Roland Garros not too long ago. So he's got to step up, make use of these opportunities. And I'd love to see himself give himself a shot against Jannik Sinner in these conditions here. As you said, they are so perfectly suited for him. The altitude suits him really well. He cruises through his service games, and it's still on clay. He's the only guy who's won this thing 2 times. Take that confidence into the final, but it is not going to be an easy task.
Andrea, how do you think Zverev's going to handle the pressure of all of the Roland Garros talk and how he should make it to the final? He's the 2 seed. Why isn't he there already? How is he going to handle all of this?
I think he will handle it beautifully here. I am very excited to see and interested to see how he will handle it in Roland Garros, because we saw what happened when he had a shot at #1. He just completely went under in South America, could barely win back-to-back matches, and then was sort of a broken player for a while until he then came to Roland Garros and played a little bit better, but then still lost to Novak Djokovic. So I hope and I think that he will have learned from that experience of having to suddenly be the favorite, because it's sometimes easy. I will say, we always talk about Jannik Sinner and Alcaraz. The others have it kind of easy. I know that's a strong statement, but they can hide behind Sinner and Alcaraz. They can always say, well, but they were just better. Okay, but what are you doing to improve? And I think he's showing signs that he is improving, but now he has the chance to put these improvements into play.
He's 13-0 at this tournament in particular against players outside the top 50. When it comes to players that he's supposed to beat on paper, do you think that he executes in those moments?
I think so. I think he does. I think he's learned it also. If we remember Alexander Zverev from 5-6 years ago at the major tournaments, he would go through 5-setter over 5-setter in the first week. He hasn't done that any longer, right? He's saving his energy. So I do think that he has learned, and I do think he will win today. I think he's the favorite. However, if Blockx can bring that sort of ice energy onto the court, I think that's really important against Alexander Zverev, because we saw yesterday he kind of feeds off negative vibes. Kabali was not great. He was mouthy. He was yelling at the box, and you can just see Zverev getting stronger and stronger in these kind of occasions. So if Blockx has that poker face on, who knows what can happen? I know you believe that he has a shot.
I think he's got a shot. Something Blockx is doing, it's remarkable. You talked about the no nerves, but he's letting his tennis be his tennis, and it's so difficult to do. It's easy to say, not to do. When these young players get into these moments here, the tennis is like 3rd on the list. You got to deal with the moment. You got to deal with the opponent on the other side. Oh my God, he's won this thing 2 times. By the time you get over all of that, you haven't even produced the tennis that you've been practicing your entire life. He's somehow just letting it fly, and the results fall where they may. That's why I think his results have been so special. He's got to come out and do the same thing here, but I don't necessarily think it's a great matchup for him. I actually think it's a good matchup for Zverev.
Speaking to that, if you were coaching Blockx today, what would you be telling him to do strategy-wise out there?
I think the most important part from his perspective, from Blockx's perspective, will be whether he can bring the game over to the forehand side. Because Alexander Zverev will try what he always tries, is to keep in the cross-court rallies of the backhand and then open it up the line. And then he can, when he has time on the forehand, Zverev's forehand is amazing when he has a little bit of time. If Blockx, however, can somehow manage to get in the forehand cross-court rally rallies more frequently, that's, I think, where he has the only shot. The one thing I'm interested to see is, though, with these young players, when they play the best in the world, sometimes their movement gets exposed. And I think that's why Sinner and Alcaraz have been so good so early, because they, from the get-go, sort of have moved elite on the court. And that's going to be interesting with Blockx when he gets pushed, how he moves from side to side on the clay courts.
Yep.
Well, I do think it's time for us to get into our BetMGM player picks and decide who is going to win this match. You guys have convinced me to take Sasha Zverev.
We haven't convinced you.
Yes, it's not like I walked in here thinking that whatsoever. No, I turned this in first thing this morning.
Andrea hasn't lost a match all year.
Andrea's perfect. We already knew that. We already knew that coming in here. Prakash, who are you going to go with?
I'm sticking with you as well. I'm picking Sasha Zverev. As you said, I think Block's his best shot. He's got such a big forehand. Can he find that pace into the Zverev forehand? I think it's going to be tough. Zverev knows how to play to get into those backhand-to-backhand rallies where he is just so exceptional. They're both huge servers, but Zverev at 6'6", he is exceptional at getting his racket on other big servers' returns and putting the ball back in play. I think he's going to be more successful on the return than Blockx. He's going to find more backhand-to-backhand rallies. He uses that little loopy forehand up the line sometimes to get into those backhand-to-backhand rallies. So I like the German to use his experience, come through.
Andrea?
Well, you mentioned the German, so as a neutral party here, I refrained from picking Zverev or Blockx because I, as a journalist, Danny, as you know,
Got to take your bias out of it.
I wouldn't call him a journalist, but
I certainly wouldn't
I
either.
don't think Prakash would call himself a journalist, so I think that's fine.
so I picked. I'm so sorry. I don't know. This was not planned. It just
Did we
came.
put something in Andrea's coffee over here?
We
no?
love it.
Anyone? No, nothing.
It just came out. Well, listen, I picked Andreeva over Kostyuk in the women's final tomorrow. I think both players are amazing. I think both players have the ability to win tomorrow. I picked Andreeva on the sheer power of her experience. Even though she's so young, she has the Masters 1000 experience, and that's why I picked her.